Okay, let's just put this on a level. It takes a second for it to go to a green. I'm gonna I'm going to mute the speaker. Mute it. Just turn it down. Totally mute it. One dot. Turn me up to about here. Okay, so I am at 75% on the mic and 2%, 3% on the speaker. Test wise, right now. I'm not sure if I have the same chat bar as I was tucking in. I got 3 strikes. Maybe I should do a sound check because I turned on the speaker. I'm going to start with saying, okay, I can see that. How did I get there? Oh, I have so much stuff open. Can't see the chat. Alright, the stream health, it just came up. This is, I'm gonna close the one. Oh, you can see? Wait a minute. No. Okay. Exit that one. And pop this one out. Popping out chat. Moving chat. Over here. Okie dokie. Too many windows open for some reason. This will too, I guess. Move it over here. What am I doing? Testing. I got 3 copyright strikes on my last Hangout. That's a test. How many copyright strikes can I get on one Hangout? That's an interesting game to play. They said they're all fine. They said don't worry about them, so I'm not going to worry about them. All is well. No band. No band music. What am I doing? I'm going to find a video, a history, to play some music. I'm gonna turn the music down and turn me up. See if I can get rid of my echo. Oh look, I see myself. I really like this guy. Dave. I like watching Dave fish, so I think I'll watch that. Looks like I'm widescreen.
We all know how Dave likes to make up words and phrases as if they're a real thing. Well, this week our bonehead is going after some bass with something called a slip-a-liner rig. Yeah, your guess is as good as mine.
Click here and do a control minus.
Man, look at these things. Never ever give up. This just a little bit.
There we go. Okay, we gotta get sound.
In a land like
Let me see if I got
on
sound.
a lake like you've never seen. Well, maybe you've seen this, but there is an angler so great.
I can hear
He
Dave.
once set the hook so hard he turned a mouth into a large
Now
mouth.
let's find me.
Scramble an egg. He was first cast at the age of 3, and it landed yesterday.
Hey.
We join him in Chronicle one day on one
I
lake.
got the
This
sound.
is Facts of Fishing Show. Here we go.
So-
Welcome to Facts of Fishing, the show.
If I turn this up
Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here.
now,
Abu Carter's
done.
for life.
33% speaker,
Live target. Lifelike
and
lures.
let's see if we can beef Dave up a little
Customer
bit.
experience. Much more fish. And Phoenix Bass Boats. Experience the Phoenix difference.
Oh, I can even hear that. Alright, move this. See that side light pop up. There it is. There it is. Now, what the test for is you take this. And go to color. Color key. Eye drop.
We all get so stuck in the new high-tech amazing things in fishing, but the way we're gonna fish today is basically, when I started, not when I first got into fishing, because when you first get into fishing, you throw the crap your dad tells you to throw or your mom ties on for you. But once I started, thinking I could come up with rigs and stuff, this was a rig I thought I invented. Obviously, I didn't invent it, but simple as can be. We're gonna fish it a little different than I did then, but it's a fun, high percentage way to hook up with fish no matter where you're fishing.
I'm getting nothing on the phone. This is
There we go. Man, look at these things. They never ever give up. This is just a little dude. Easy. Easy. This is just a little dude. But that's what makes these fish so awesome. And a major reason why everybody wants to catch them. You never ever give up. Come here. Get that little dude. And when I said this is a technique that get him unhooked. Whoa. Where's that? Look at that little dude right there. Line all wrapped up. Little chunk. Let him go. When I said this was a technique that, literally when I first got into fishing, really started experimenting with new techniques and stuff like that, the first kind of technique that I really come up with was split shot. You know, and I really, at the time, I bet you I thought I invented it. But this is just a version of split shotting using a tungsten worm weight, a little bobber stopper, and that pit pause. And as you can see, they are eating it. It's the same theory. When you throw a split shot bait, it's a lot different. You might wonder, why are you not throwing a drop shot? Well, a drop shot, that bait works a lot different because it's connected to the line. That bait will actually float and look a lot more natural in the water.
This segment is brought to you by Abu Garcia for life.
Good one. Oh man. You can try horse them in, but basically, most effective way I find is just let them have their way until they're done. Let's go to a commercial break. Maybe I'll land it by the time we're back. Oh, here he is. Look at that chunk right there. Oh.
All right, I'm gonna go check it out.
Awesome, awesome. Look at on the side of that fish. One of the cool things you can see there, you see scrape marks, and that's a telltale sign that these things are digging in the rocks and burying around. Man, that is an awesome, awesome fish. You know, I'll show you another advantage to this that I think over, a standard split shot. You see where that weight ended up being at the end of that fight, with that bobber stopper, it's free to move around. And when you get pressure on it, generally it comes down here. That gives fish a lot less leverage if the weight is down here. If you've got that big weight floating around, it gives you something to pull out and get loose. And that's just one simple advantage over just going straight up split shot.
So turn it down to 1/3 volume. And it might not have that. There it is. Right.
There you go. Oh, good one too. Man, look at this fish. Oh, yes. How awesome is that? That's what makes smallmouth one of the coolest fish on the planet, man. Man, this little bait, they are munching it. And really, like I said, this is basically one of the first techniques I honestly thought I designed at the time, with just a few little improvements. One thing that doesn't change is just like when I was a little kid, they munch it.
No, man. But I ain't got no headphones on. So. Still fishing. Get him, Dave.
Man, the reason that this technique is so effective is when you look right here, you've got that woo bobber stopper right there and a tungsten weight. But this bait floats freely. So if you're throwing a drop shot or some of those things, I mean, it's on a tight line and there's never any of that float factor. So if you can imagine this as it creeps along the bottom, I mean, you bang along, you've got a lot of contact with that tungsten, you can feel everything. This bait's got that slow, subtle float. The fish just come up behind it and inhale it.
The rods in today's episode were threaded using the RTD rod threading device.
Turn everything up loud as can. That's it. So to conclude this, we can change color. Or brightness or something.
Easy, dude. The small power hour with the simplest, easiest way. You know, one of the simplest, easiest, most, simplest ways to fish. I mean, just like the old split shot rig, but replacing it with that tungsten weight. And I mean, when I first started doing this, it wasn't always with soft plastic like this. I mean, when I first got into it, I think I put night crawlers and all sorts of crap on there because it would just give them that natural action. And it's the exact same thing. Just a little bit more modern. There we go. Oh man, look at the size of this fish right here. Oh, man, that's a big fish. And they fall for that, that weightless approach. I just sauntered down with them. Tasty little treat that nobody can resist. Oh, look at that fish right there. Ate that little pit boss, but it's this that makes the action so much. If you have that bait, the weight connected to it, it's gonna have action. It's not gonna have that slow glide fall that is driving these small jaw crazy. If you ask me, one of the biggest